So I was able to purposefully leave my laptop in my trailer over the weekend, which was good. I was able to think a lot. And, I started thinking about validation a lot and morals. And I, I came to the conclusion that, like, all human beings were born with that sense of need for morals, right? Right and wrong. Whether you believe in God or not, doesn't matter. I think it's inherent with us and I think that sets us apart a lot from, animals. We have this sense of morality, and people might argue with me on that, but really, like as a child, children seek validation from their parents. As adults, we seek validation from other people, whether we think we do or not. It doesn't matter. You do. With your actions, you seek attention. You seek validation, even with when you're in groups where you believe that you don't believe in morals, or you don't believe in God. You still seek validation from that group, and you still develop a sense of morality within that. Um, Whether you do terrible things or not, right? Maybe it's a gang or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. You still develop morality. You just choose which group that you belong to. It's still, I guess you could even define it as a religion, even if you're not religious, like being a part of a non-religion or not believing in religion is its own religion, right? You develop a sense of morality around that. And a lot of people tend to fight religion pretty heavily when they're not religious, or when they claim that they don't believe in God. They tend to really fight against it, which is weird. Why does it matter so much to you? But some of those voices are the loudest voices, which I find interesting. They've developed a sense of morality or a validation in whatever group they're in. Maybe it's validation within themselves. That's another point that I'm trying to make is even when you're living alone, like I do, I seek validation with myself. I talk into a mic to nobody, so I'm looking for validation with myself. If I'm not talking into a mic, I talk to myself, or I have these thoughts in my mind that are validating, self-validating. And for me, I have a belief in God, and so that's a part of my validation too. Giving me a sense of morality, right? And wrong. Whether you want to define it as right and wrong, it's a sense of direction. It's a sense of how you live your life. And a lot of that comes from your parents too. A lot of people don't have parents, and so they seek validation from groups. Or if you do have parents and you don't like your parents, you seek validation from going against them. And you find groups that will support you in that. Because a lot of people have a hard time just doing it all alone, I think. I think they search out for companionship or somebody else to be on their team, right? To tell them, yeah, it's okay to think that way. But it's easy to say that to anybody. Like, that's the problem with it. It's easy for me to tell anybody that I come in contact with, hey, it's okay for you to live your life like that. And maybe it's not okay. But it's so easy to hear that, and it's so easy to settle in to that. And if you're in a depressed state like I am, or you're having these bouts of sadness and somebody comes along and tells you that it's okay, that can be kind of nice in a way. It can be detrimental as well. We want to get out of this state, so I don't want to stay here forever, right? But it's comforting to know that you're not completely alone, or to hear it again and again and again, because that's what I need. I need to hear it again and again and again and again and again and again, and I ask over and over and over, and I do things when I'm in groups to validate for attention, right? the attention that I get, whether it's positive or negative. Maybe I'm making fun of my own self, and that's the kind of attention I'm seeking. Self-deprecation, humor, and I get that attention. It's validating for me. When people laugh, even though I'm making fun of myself, it's validating for me. Or even somebody bullying me. I got really used to getting bullied on growing up, and that's a sense of validation for me. It validates who I am. Sometimes there's a negative outcome, but it's still a validation. Maybe it's a negative validation, maybe it's a positive one, but it's still validation. And for someone with ADHD, it can come negatively or positively. It's all the same. It still stimulates your brain. With that drug that you're looking for. So, anyway, but I do believe that everybody has morals. Everybody has standards. And they seek out to validate those standards with other people. So, I think I don't have any issue with there being a belief in God, and it doesn't matter which kind, I think that striving to be a better person is always a good thing, I don't think you should condemn people for being different from you. I think that's a man-made kind of idea. I don't think we really are supposed to hate each other, I think we've twisted that. But even people that are against religion, I feel like they say that religious people hate other people, but they are the loudest voices of hate, and that's not good either. I find that a lot of those people are the loudest voices of hate, and they don't really spend their efforts helping people as much, and you should. I think that's what makes us human. Morality makes us human. Validation helps us feel human too. We want that attention. We want that companionship. We want those relationships and families, wherever we can find them. Even if you're adopted, you look for that family, that relationship. If you have an estranged parent or spouse or whatever, you look for it elsewhere. You feel that inherent need that we have. Even if you're socially, disabled, like I am, I still have this need for validation and for being a part of something, even though I want to be as far from it as possible, or I tell myself I do. But the reality of it is I still am looking for it elsewhere. Like this blog. I go on this blog for validation, even though, nobody really listens, which is fine. This is totally fine. It's like perfect match. I don't know what I'd do with myself if people actually started listening to this thing, but it's fine. But just me talking into the void is therapeutic and validating for me. That's what it is for therapy. It's like finding that self-validation within. That's what talk therapy is so good. It's motivating. It's transformative. It helps you take action, be a better person. So for me, I'm working on my self-validation because I have very low self-esteem. I have very, very depressed, and I still am. I'm doing better, but I feel like I can dip at any moment. So I'm trying to keep on the up and up. At least in moderation. I don't expect myself to be bouncing off the walls or anything right now, which is fine. If I could live in moderation, that would be great. So, anyway. Yeah. Anyway, I think, that's what I was thinking about on my trip today. And I really felt like I kind of nailed it on the head there. I feel like, what am I searching for? What is my drive? What am I validating myself with? And I'll keep looking for that. I'll keep looking for what that is for myself and how that makes me feel fulfilled.